I really wanted to touch on this comment. I'm feeling extremely angry for this person. Probably because it is so relatable. Talking about medical gaslighting and not being believed, and then finding out something actually is really wrong. And then, having people around you still not believe you after a diagnosis. So I wanted to touch on this basically because this is why I came back on to this page and wanted to redo this again. Because I am so sick and tired of the stigma. I feel very strongly about advocacy around invisible illnesses and medical gaslighting. And I don't mean medical gaslighting just from medical professionals. I mean medical gaslighting from society. And you hear stories like this one all the time. And partly that's happened to me. As I said in my previous video, I was in addiction for a few years. There's so much stigma around addiction. And it's funny because society shames people that are different. And I think the number one killer for all of us is shame. Yeah. If you actually looked at somebody who was in addiction, most people think total fuck-ups, loser, get a life, why don't you get sober? Don't you know you're hurt? Why can't you get sober for your, mother, father, whatever? Instead of looking at the person with some compassion and saying to yourself, this person is suffering. This person is suffering. But no, we don't do that. We put shame on them, which keeps them in addiction. And it's the same as medical gaslighting. Being told that you have a mental health condition instead of an actual physical condition, that's us being shamed by the medical community. And I am so done with putting up with people shaming me. Okay? I'm just done. If I've learned nothing in this life, is that shame kills. And society is essentially all based on shame. All of our advertisements are based on shame. If you don't look this way, or if you have this wrinkle, or, if your body doesn't look like this, and then it just, the world makes a lot of money based on shaming people. And it keeps us really sick. And I think that sickness of being shamed and then believing the lies that people are telling you because you think maybe there is something wrong with me, that's what kills us. And I don't mean like physically kill us, although I do think that is true. But how can you not have soul sickness from being shamed? And I know I'm not the only person who has not spent their entire life being shamed many, many, many times. This lady, I read it and I could feel my anger for her because it's like I understand mental health is a thing. And I understand, too, that mental health issues can cause us to feel different things in our bodies that maybe are not there. But you know what's real? Is the feeling is real. I learned that in therapy. Like, I might say, I have such and such, or I feel like this or whatever. And if it's not real, what does it really matter? What matters is that I feel like it's real. And that's what matters. And nobody honors their own feelings, right? We're told not to do that. We're told to completely distrust what our body is telling us, our minds. We don't listen to that intuitive feeling in our chest and our body that's saying, no, this is not right. I'm right. Like, why don't we have a society that encourages us to be true to ourselves? Well, nobody would make any money if that was, if we all lived like that, right? But I do wonder sometimes when I think about like my past and growing up feeling like the black sheep of the family and then going into addiction and then feeling like a piece of shit because of that, what my life would have looked like if the truth was actually out there and I had people out there that were curious about why I was suffering. I know there was a therapy session when I was a kid because I was once I became a teenager, I was pretty outrageous. And the therapist said, well, she's acting out because she's the truth teller of the family. Right? It's like, oh, I'm not a piece of shit. I am acting out because this is what is going on in my home, right? But people don't get curious about stuff like that. And when you have a medical issue and it gets shut down immediately by blaming it on mental health, the disservice that it does to the person who's suffering is tenfold. I think it makes the disease worse. I think it makes us feel worse. I think it increases the symptoms. Not being believed or validated or held in a space that somebody may not agree with or resonate with is rare, which is so sad, isn't it? Like, I wonder if somebody was actually kind to me when I was using, if I could have got sober sooner. And so now to be almost 50 and I have a terminal illness and I'm not believed, oh, I'm done with that. No, I've spent my whole life caring what other people thought about me and believing the terrible things people thought about me. I'm not perfect, 100%. Definitely not perfect. But there is no fucking way I will ever let somebody shame me again. No medical professional, no friend, nothing. Society, nope. Not playing the game. I'm not. I mean, I want to spend the last few years of my life living in the freedom of not being in the grips of people's opinion of me. And that includes medical professionals who are wrong a lot. And I think being that I look and present, and probably the same with this woman, look and present well, and you have any kind of mental illness on your medical history, they don't even consider. And I commented back on this, I think it would be funny if we started medically gaslighting the actual doctors. Like, what if we flipped the script and did it to them? Like, oh, you don't want to request an MRI for me or referral to a neurologist? Do you think that's maybe your mental health? Like, do you think you just have a little bit of anxiety because maybe I'm right and you're wrong? Well, we do have medication for that. Let's try you in an SSRI, and then I'll come back and see if you would like to refer me to the neurologist once we've taken care of your mental illness. Wouldn't that be so fun? I think we should totally do that. Let's just flip the script on everyone. Anyways, that was a fun brain day.